mother, master on a mission. 3-in-1 playing my position. I passed queen a long time ago. Spiritual gangster, I was born woke. Born woke, born woke. Spiritual gangster, I was born woke. Born woke, hey, born woke. Spiritual gangster, born woke. Yeah. Greetings, my lovelies. What's up? What's up? Welcome to Maiden, Mother, Master. We are on a mission, baby. Let's get it. It's a beautiful day in the A, and I hope it's beautiful wherever you are. You know what? I know it's beautiful wherever you are because you're breathing. Life is good. There's plenty to be appreciative of and grateful for. And I want you to just take a second and count 2 or 3 of those things just in your mind as we're going through. Starting with life, breath. Because as long as you're breathing, baby, you can get it done, whatever it is. So go ahead and surrender any burdens, anything you're worried about, anything that's haunting you, anything you're upset about. Cast all that on the higher part of you that knows how to fix it. Now, whoever you think that higher part of you is, some people call it God, some people call it Jesus, some people call it Source, some people call it the Christ within, some people call it whatever. The universe, the multiverse. Cast those fears, doubts, and worries on that part of yourself, because that's the part of yourself that has all the solutions. So stay open, listen, receive the wisdom as it comes, and then act, implement every single intuitive lead that you get today and every day. Sit, live it. So today, today I want to talk about what had happened this weekend. And yeah, I'm going to be naming names here today. And I'm going to be calling not a lot of folks, but definitely at least one person all the way out. Because, some people are just afraid for no reason at all. Just scared. And there's never really a reason to fear. Whatever it is, love can be found in it. And let me just tell y'all what happened. So this past weekend, the beautiful and talented Patty Walker, who I have discussed before, leader, Maiden, mother, master of the P-Funk Connection band, an awesome tribute band that contains Patty, who was with the original Parliament Funkadelic back in the day, Kevin Scheider, who was also with the original Parliament Funkadelic back in the day. His brother Gary Scheider was known as the guy who wore the diaper. Michael Hampton, who is a Hall of Famer with the original Parliament Funkadelic, and others who meander in and out of P-Funk Connection. So it's a tribute band, in my opinion, on the highest level, because we dress the part. We express the music in the way that stays true to how it was originally created. And we just have a funky ass good time on that stage, and the crowds love us, and we love them right back. We just give them the mothership connection for real. No offense to George. I don't know what George is doing right now, but I've seen his show, and the first hour is like this weird hip hop that his grandkids create, and I don't know. This shit is hot garbage to me, but hey, I don't know. Maybe he's on a different trajectory. Second half of the show is the original, Parliament Funkadelic music. But if you want a real P-Funk experience, you want P-Funk Connection, because nobody else is doing it like that right now. Go on YouTube, check us out. It's whatever. It's dope. So we were scheduled to open for Teddy Riley this past weekend, right? Scheduled to open for Teddy Riley. Spoiler alert. And it was here in Atlanta at this charity event called Campbellton Road Day. And it was going to be a lot of fun, I think. We were really looking forward to it, and all systems were go. So prior to the show, the week before, and if you know me or anything about me, I don't believe in coincidences at all. Everything has a cause. Every thought, every word, every deed has a cause. There is no happenstance. There are no accidents. Everything's connected, and everything has a cause. That's how I live my life. Now, how you live yours, that's up to you. But I invite you to explore the concept that there's a cause for everything. And if you seek to know that, then you can really reach some high levels of conclusion and solutions in your own life and the life of those who you walk with, who you walk this journey with. So, not coincidentally, the week before the show, I was awakened in the middle of the night by a YouTube video, an interview. Now, let me preface it by saying I rarely go to sleep with the TV on. That's just not something I do. I don't like all that in my sleep realm. But that particular night, I was down a YouTube rabbit hole, and I just happened to fall asleep. And so I woke up. You know how YouTube sends you down even deeper rabbit holes? And the videos will never end if you don't turn them off. So I woke up in the middle of the night with an interview on the Breakfast Club, and Charlemagne the Human was interviewing Teddy Riley. Eureka! We're about to open for Teddy Riley. So I sat up and took notice. And sure enough, they are having this fascinating interview. It was lovely. It was just beginning, but I took it all the way back to the very beginning because I wanted to hear the whole thing, because I have friends who were, worked closely with him, the group Basic Black, or some people I've known forever, and they were all signed to Gene Griffin at the same time. My dad and Gene Griffin go way back. So I was just, curious to see what he had to say. And the interview was great. It was interesting. I learned a lot. But I also remember taking note of him saying something to the effect of, when you get on that stage, it's a competition. You got 4 or 5 different groups, man, and we gonna come out on top every time. The group I'm with, we coming out on top. That's what we do. We do it, and I don't go anywhere without a band. I bring a live band everywhere. Track days, I don't do no tracks, man. Tracks I don't do that. That's some sellout stuff. Okay. So this is what he said. You can YouTube the video and hear his quotes. So now let's fast track up to the show night, day of the show. We're scheduled for a sound check at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. comes. We're all there, ready to go. Our lovely musicians are all ready to load in, and the stage is fully set up. If you know anything about music, the only time a sound check really runs late is if they aren't set up and ready to go. So you have to sometimes wait for the stagehands and, the sound crew to get everything together and just finish what they started and make sure everything's plugged in, patched properly, and all of that. All of that was done when we got there too. Done. Stage is up, good to go. Everything is tons of equipment on the stage already, and someone's checking a mic, which is always like the last thing to be checked. So, excuse me, I'm taking a sip of my latte. Thank you. So, all of that was done. It was all good to go. Beautiful. Big, lovely stage, lights, whole nine. People were already there. It was 90 degrees, so it was super hot, but it was great. Good turnout. Everything's lovely. So we're ready to sound check at 2, and we're sitting around, and 3:00 rolls around, and the sound man, or the owner of the sound company, pulls us to the side and says, "Hey, no, let me go back. When I get there, one of my friends, and he's gonna go named LT." My friend LT, who does sound for so many people, and I've known him forever. He is running the sound for this event, and he tells me when I see him, we're like, "Hey, we have this big reunion." He said, "Oh yeah, I've been doing Teddy's sound for years. I'm Teddy's guy. I'm Teddy's sound man. I'm also doing the sound at the other concert over at Lakewood today." I was like, "Cool, that's what's up. You just do your thing, man." And then I run into the person who owns the sound company that they hired to set up the sound. And he's a parent at my daughter's school. So I'm like, this is going to be dope. I said, "Okay, you're going to make sure we have some pristine sound, right?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, we got you. Everything's beautiful." But to ensure that, we even brought our own sound man, because there are so many times where, you can have a great sound check and tweak things the way you like, but the sound man at the time of the show, goes into dementia or whatever and forgets your settings, and there could be problems. So we Patty is a boss, as I have expressed on earlier episodes. And so she had crossed every T and dotted every I. So we brought our own sound man to operate their equipment. So we're all set. 3:00, their sound guy comes, and he's like, "Hey, Teddy's going to sound check now. And when Teddy finishes sound checking, then you guys, Climax will go, and then you guys will go. We'll sound check." We said, "Okay, cool." So we're thinking, okay, that can't take more than an hour, right? And meanwhile, LT, Teddy's sound man, and our old friend, was walking around, checking the mic on the stage. So we're now thinking that Teddy's gonna come. Typically, the way it works is you run through one song, maybe, just to make sure all the instruments are balanced. It looked like he had a whole band set up there. It was a lot of shiny equipment. So we're waiting for that to happen. So LT is still walking around back and forth. They run a couple of tracks. That was weird, because Teddy doesn't do tracks, remember? He only does live musicians. We didn't see a single live musician. But hey, he's Teddy Riley. Maybe they all will show up together. So we never did see Teddy sound, or I didn't, because I was milling about. I was walking around doing other stuff. Now it's 4:00, and Climax is on the stage preparing for their sound check. Now, apparently Teddy was done, and I guess that was just LT walking around saying check and running the track for a couple of seconds. But whatever. Again, we've been there since 2. Now it's 4. Climax goes on stage. They didn't really have a sound check. They they did run through, their keys, played, and they were doing mostly tracking, but Fenderella plays the bass live, and they have a girl who plays the keyboard live, and their guitar player is fucking awesome, and she rips it live. And of course the vocals are live. Nice vocals, beautiful harmonies. They're dope. So they did their thing. So now it's time for our sound check, and we're still waiting around, and now it's 5:00. And if you know P-Funk Connection, we have elaborate costumes that require at least an hour for the women to, inhabit. It's like a whole thing that we do in order to, present a show. So Patty's thinking she's got to go back to the hotel and change. Even though we're from here, they were, nice enough to get us a hotel to change. And I live like 10 minutes from the venue. So I was going to go home and change and come back. Because now it's creeping up on 6:00. And still nothing's happening differently on the stage. They're just not telling us to come and sound check. Our equipment is set up. Everything's on the stage, ready to go. We're waiting for the go-ahead from the sound man that they have, or the sound crew guy, basically the guy who is over that, because we have our own sound man, as I said before. So, still nothing. 6:00. Now we've got to leave, because our original time to hit the stage was 8:00. So, the girls jet, because we've got to get ready. So we've been walking around 90-degree heat all day. We just have to get fresh, new, and fabulous. And so we left. Unbeknownst to us, until much later, our guys did get a chance to sound check. So they got on the stage, or probably around 6:30, 6:45, and they played Make My Funk to Be Funk. I want my funk uncut. So they did a little bit of that song, from what I understand. I wasn't there, obviously. I was still getting dressed. And the crowd went wild. And when they were about to leave the stage, the crowd was like, no, where y'all going? Because the crowd's been there all day, and there's been no music on the stage. No opening acts, nothing. And they said, oh, no, that was just sound check. But the sound check was awesome, because our sound man ran it. He had our sound as pristine as it's supposed to be. So we found out about that later. I go, after I'm dressed, I get dressed at home, and then I go to the hotel where we were all meeting up with Patty to come back to the venue, because they were sending a shuttle to bring us back to the venue. And she wanted us all to ride together. So at the hotel, we finished getting dressed, whatever little other things we had to do. And we called the guys, and they were like, oh, yeah, we had a sound check. Everything was great. It was beautiful. We good. We ready to go. So we leave the hotel around 7. I'm going to say no, it wasn't 7, because it rained. I forgot about that. In the middle of the day, probably around 5, before we left, between 4:30 and 5, there was a torrential downpour. Just a huge rain. It just poured rain, and, rain and electronics don't go together. So everyone's running around trying to cover up equipment, trying to, keep everything from getting wet. So the rain came, and then the rain went, and the sun came out and warmed everything, and it was beautiful. Then again, around 7, I'll say about 7:40, because this was during the time that I was driving from home to the hotel where Patty was. There was another torrential downpour. I mean, it was so bad that I'd had to pull over, and the hotel was literally like 10 minutes from my house. So I pulled over for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, because the wind was whipping. It looked like a tornado was coming. It was crazy. Hail, everything. It was just pouring rain. But it only did it for like 10 minutes. So I got to the hotel, and if it was raining like that where I was, and it rained like that at the venue as well. And so the second rain, apparently they weren't able to cover up everything in time, I'm thinking. So some of the equipment may have gotten a little wet. But when we got to the venue, there were still tarps on the equipment. So they managed to cover it up. But as we're in the van headed to the venue, someone calls Patty and says, "Hey, they're saying we're not going on because the rain and we, Teddy's saying he's got to the stage is too wet, so he might not perform. And if he doesn't perform, then it'll just be us and Climax. But right now they saying they're gonna go ahead and let Teddy go first so that he can do his thing." None of that makes sense. That doesn't make any fucking sense. But okay. Patty was like, "What the fuck?" And that's how Patty talks. What? Wait, we'll be there in 10 minutes. So we get there, and Patty goes and immediately finds the promoter and talks to the promoter. The promoter's like, "Well, Teddy's saying, he doesn't know if he wants to go on or he wants to go on first, maybe." He said, "But first thing everybody's got to do is dry the stage because he doesn't want anybody slipping and falling." And so then they had this one guy just mopping the stage, slowly mopping the stage. By now it's 8:15, 8:20. We were supposed to go on stage at 8 o'clock. But the beautiful thing is we had already gotten paid. So we were just chilling. We were lackadaisical about it, but we came there to funk. Don't get it fucking twisted. That's what we came to do. So we were ready to hit the stage, right? Everybody was like, "Yo, we about to do this." So the slow man was mopping, and he was mopping, and he was mopping. Bless his heart, he was mopping. So finally, I don't know, in my mind, you could have had like 4 dudes with towels, and it would have been quicker than that one guy mopping the whole stage. But stage is dry. Stage was bone dry. Still, the word is Teddy's going on first. Teddy said he got to go on first because he's just going on. He's about to go on, and then they said, and then if we have time, we're gonna then have you guys go, and then Climax. Because now time was coming into play because we didn't know if there was a curfew. We knew there was no curfew in the city of Atlanta, and we knew that the event, Campbellton Road Day, didn't have a curfew itself. But the sound crew had been there since like 5 a.m. So there is a theoretical curfew involving them working more than 12 hours. Okay, so they had already done that at 5 p.m. So it is what it is. But anyway, so now Teddy's saying he's going on first, then Climax, and then if there's time, we will go on and close the show. So hey, we love closing shows. So okay, cool. People are there, and at this point we're dressed, so people are coming up, taking pictures. They want, when y'all going on? When are y'all going on? We're like, we don't know, but soon. That's all we could tell them, basically, because that's all we knew. So then more time elapses, and now it's 10 o'clock, and we're still standing around waiting on the word. Teddy's decided he's not going on at all. He can't do it. He's not doing the show. He's not going to do the show. So Climax, y'all go on, and then P-Funk Connection will be after Climax. Well, after Climax, we're going to let Teddy say a few words because the people came to see him, and he said he's willing to talk to the people and just let them know that, he loves them, and he's sorry he can't perform tonight because some of the equipment got damaged. Yeah, that was a party line at that point. Some of the equipment wasn't functioning properly because, the rain. Okay, so that's what happened. Climax went on, and they fucking rocked it. It was dope. But their track never worked. The whole time they were on stage. Now, they have a show that's about, I'm going to say, 60% track. because they have like these whole segments that are just purely track driven, and they're dancing, they're doing choreography, they're doing their whole thing, and the track is playing. So they have like a tribute. I don't want to spoiler alert their show, but it's dope as fuck. There are a few climax versions out there. The one with Fenderella, the one who sings I Miss You, that's the one to go see, because they are playing instruments for real. The singing is dope. Everybody's dope in the situation. It's fire. So, but they kept complaining that their track wasn't coming on. They're like, our track is not playing. And, you know, they apologized to the crowd because they said, we only can do a few songs because our track isn't playing. And we need the track to give y'all the full show we came here to give y'all. So their track never came on. But they played because they're real musicians. And, you know, the keyboard player was going back and forth, and she played, and then she'd come down and do the Bernadette Cooper parts and, you know, the talking, whatever. And Fenderella sang I Miss You so beautifully. Her voice is just so, just sweet. It's like, she's like a female Michael Jackson. Her tone is just so pretty. So I enjoyed that a lot. And, you know, they did their show and it was dope. So then they get off stage. And by now it's like 11-ish. And then there's some lag time. And somewhere around 11:30, they're still telling us, mind you, that we're going to play after Teddy, quote unquote, talks to the crowd. Then we go on. And we were like, cool, let's go. We're with it. We have an hour-long show. All musicians, like 13 people strong. And we're ready. Everyone's dressed. We're ready to go. So Teddy goes up to, quote unquote, talk to the crowd, and he says something to the effect of, yeah, I just had to come up and say a few words to you guys, because, you know, I'm so sorry we're not gonna get a chance to perform tonight, but y'all came out, y'all stuck it out through the rain, and we really just had a great show we wanted to give y'all, and it's just, you know, it hurts my feelings that I'm not able to give that to y'all right now. And well, you know what? Fuck it, we'll just do one or two songs, and the crowd goes wild. Woo! Yeah, you gonna do one or two songs, Teddy? Oh my God! So he busts out and starts doing his whole show. Right? Dancers come up, shaking their ass. Then he brings up the whole other 3-4 other dudes to sing. Literally, he does a 45-minute show. All track. Please don't let the smooth taste fool you. All fucking tracks. Nobody was playing a single note of instrumentation. So he lied to Charlemagne the Human. Let's be clear right there. But anyway, all track. Him and 3 beautifully singing dudes. They had great voices. They doing a rump shaker. They doing no diggity. They doing their thing. I got bored, so I left the area. I didn't get to see the whole show. I just can't rock like that to tracks because it's boring to me. That to each his own. I mean, I think the crowd seemed to enjoy it pretty much. You know, they liked it. I think you know. They gave him a nice ovation when he left the stage at 11:55. So now it's 11:55. And the promoter comes up to Patty. No. First, the sound guy comes up and he says, look, guys, I've got to let my guys go because now at this point, if we go past midnight, I got to pay them $500 per hour to continue work. We were like, what the fuck? $500 an hour? That's ludicrous. And he's like, yeah, I know, but they've been here so long now that's I either got to pay them or I got to let them go home. And that's where I am. And that I don't know what else to say or do. So meanwhile, they unplugged our equipment right after Teddy. Right? I don't know who told them to do that. It wasn't us. So right after Teddy got off at 11:55, Our equipment was all unplugged. Our guitar amps were taken off the stage. It was all gone. And then the promoter comes up to Patty and says, well, if you guys want to go up and just play 2 songs, you can. And that's all we can give you, because he's got to let the sound crew go. And I offered to pay the sound crew, but the amount they're asking for is exorbitant. We're not going to be able to pay that. And Patty was like, motherfucker, y'all trying to get us booed out here 10 minutes. Ain't no way in the hell we going up there for 10 minutes. And our guitars the amps have all been removed. And the keyboards that we play on have been taken off the stage. Our keyboardists will just be winging it on some random keyboards that are sitting up there. No, we're not doing it. We're leaving. Good night. So we didn't get to play the show. We did get paid because Patty's a fucking boss and her contract is airtight. And Teddy had a chance to win the competition. What do you do when you don't know for sure if you'll win the competition? You motherfucking suppress the competition. You make sure it's just you on that stage and another kind of version of you minus their tracks. Hey, you're a winner. You're a winner, Teddy Riley. I don't have any animosity in my heart for the fearful people who's scared to get on stage with another motherfucker. To me, there ain't a bitch alive who I'm scared to fuck with on the stage. I don't give Beyonce, fucking Sierra, who's another bad bitch? Rihanna, Tina Turner, motherfucking Aretha Franklin, rest her soul, Whitney. I don't give a fuck. Whoever she is, I'm there to do my shit. And what I bring to the stage, this is my solo world. I'm in a band right now, so I'm part of a team. In my solo world, can't no bitch fuck with me. That's how I feel. And that's how I roll. And so the fear of competition does not exist within me. However, it seems to exist within other people who want to win, but they want to win with an advantage. Where they do that at? Now, my theory is what I just expressed. This nigga got scared. I'm sorry. I don't use the N-word anymore. So this brother got scared. And how do I know he got scared? How do I know he even knew about the sound check? Because LT, his sound man, was there all day. So he heard the sound check our guys did, and they didn't even have all the vocals. It was just the guys. So there's 2 dudes that sing 2, because Parliament Funkadelic, they might put 40 brothers on stage and sisters. So we only have like 13, but it was like 2 dudes singing the parts and the band playing the way they play. They come to rock and funk your motherfucking head off. That's what they do. So they did their thing. Somebody called Teddy, and it was sabotage from that moment forward. That's all I can see. Now, I just laid out the story. You be the judge. You determine what you feel. Maiden Mother Master listeners, you decide. You decide. I'm just saying. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. And quit lying about not tracking. It was tracks. Nothing but tracks. There was not one musician on that stage. Good luck, Essence Fest. Maybe he'll bring some musicians when he plays with y'all. I don't know. But that's coming up in, I guess, July at some point. But quit lying, Teddy. Don't lie to Charlemagne the Human. Don't do that. Don't lie to the people. Give the people what you promised them. A dope-ass show with real musicians playing the shit out of those songs. It's not that hard. Just do it. Do your thing. And do it for real. I got faith in you, brother. I love your tracks. I think you are a master genius. New Jack Swing changed the world. It really, really did. And continues to exist in my worldview, since you defined it as anytime somebody's rapping and singing on the same song, that's New Jack Swing. Okay, you changed the arc of music. And I respect that. But you see how I can do that? See how I can just give up the respect, and I can just give the compliments? Because I'm not a hater on any level. There is no hateration in me at all. Now, I told that same story I just told y'all to the other guy I play with, Guru Fish, Jimmy, putting the fun in funk. And the first words out of his mouth was, oh, he got scared. I mean, as soon as I told him the story, he said they do that all the time. He was opening for somebody. He said they just turn our sound all the way down. But see, Patty had already patted us against that. She knows the game. So she brought our own sound man. So there would be none of that. There was just going to be fair competition on the stage. If you come to compete, we ain't even coming for that. We're coming to give the people what they want. That's our job. Our job isn't with you, Teddy. It's not with you, Climax. Our job is to give the people what they want and to funk them. Because funk is what we do. Period. That's what we're there for. So anywho, it wouldn't have been cute if we hadn't already gotten paid. And it would damn sure wouldn't have been funny if we hadn't already gotten paid. But we did get paid. Big ups to the promoter for being honorable and making sure that everything went the way it was supposed to go, as far as he could control it. Teddy lost a lot of respect for you along the way, my brother. You know, hey, it's sad to see that kind of thing transpire, but it is what it is. And, we went on to have another beautiful day. P-Funk Connection will be in Baltimore August 16th and 17th. If you're up around B more, by all means, come out and get funked, baby. So, we'll see y'all then. And until then, what's the moral of this daggone lesson? Be fearless. Be fearless. Love what you do enough to know that no one can do it like you. No one can ever be you. And if you're giving your all, every bit of what you have to give, no one can compare to that. And why would you want to compare? Why? It's art. It's unique. It's beautiful. It's divine. And we're here to service the people and the planet. That's what we're here to do. We're not here for anything petty. We're here to service the people and the planet with beautiful music, art, and creativity that they have not seen before. Boom. That's it. So live it. Love it. I love y'all. I know that. Thank you for joining me today. It's a beautiful day in the A and wherever you are too. And this is Deanna Dawn, Maiden Mother Master, letting you know I love you. Peace.
A little girl who was afraid to achieve, so optimistic, full of possibility, but scared to bring it cause she wasn't received by her mama and her daddy and the ones who didn't understand. who she wasn't, what she had, even though they could see your life had a plan. Look in the mirror, baby, what do you see? Come on and sing it now if you believe you will rise, 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 rise. Worshiping from the jaws of defeat. I can be anything that I wanna be. Now we'll rise, 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 rise. I bet you that you got a story too. Bet you do. About the people who doubted you.